switching gears to another company that I had a feeling for, and I know the product. I know this product because
It's another dig it in.
no, I think you know the product as well. Because we've had conversations about, me. I live a life where I'm ordering Uber Eats at least 3 times a week.
Man.
In Ubers all the time, traveling, and Uber's had a lot of issues, but I just see them. I'm like, damn, like the world really needs Uber. Like, I don't know how the world exists without Uber at this point in time, at least from my personal vantage point.
Yeah, I would be starving if Uber Eats wasn't around.
Well, it hit an all-time high today.
Yep.
And quietly, the stock is up $25. In 6 months, it's at around $69 right now. Mm-hmm. So Uber's ripping and running. The stock is it's hit an all-time high. So Uber is a company that we haven't really spent a lot of time talking on, and they've had competitors and issues and stuff like that, issues with Uber drivers. But what's the thoughts on Uber?
I've been saying it for the last 2 weeks. Not because he looked like Jason Statham when we saw him at the VP's house, but we may have to make a case for Dara for being one of the best turnaround CEOs in this era. I've been on it hail for the last 2 or 3 weeks. If you look at the numbers, great CEO, great leader. If you look at what he did at Expedia, which is one of the best stocks of all time, done a great job in terms of hospitality. I think Travis was a great founder, innovator. He lost his way. And then when Dara took position, I think he found a way to cut some costs and make margins a hell of a lot better. So it's kind of like when, well, I mean, Doc Rivers is back coaching, but when you have a leader or when you have a great asset or a team and then you get a better coach, sometimes what ends up happening is that you have great talent, but because they have a better leader, they perform well. And this is what is happening with Uber. They have found a way to make margins better. Operating expenses go down a lot slower. And I think that they find a way to separate themselves to be number one in that class and pull themselves away from Lyft and any other competitors that they have, while also killing off some of the businesses that were not doing incredibly well. So this is all of his doing. Dar gets all of the credit. Kudos to the team there. I have not been a fan of it up until this point, but under his leadership, I'm a little bit more favorable for the app for sure.
We're favorable for them. I'll just say the 3 things, right? You brought them to profitability, right?
Which is key.
Which is extremely key. You've addressed some safety concerns that has been an issue inside the company, and the third thing is that you've expanded your competitive advantage, right? Well, now people think rideshare. I don't see Lyft as much. It really isn't like you're choosing between the two. There really isn't a reason to use the other one. And so, yeah, they've done a great job marketing. I think the Uber Eats has been one of the keys to the success, right? It's moved outside of just, hey, you can now order food. Like chains are now figuring out how they're going to incorporate ride sharing into their service. We spoke about Domino's 6 months ago and how big of a deal that was. And so they've done everything right over the past 6 to 8 months. So we got to give them credit. We have to give them credit when it's due.
Yeah.
So you bullish on Uber going forward?
Let me see. Let me look at profit margin. Still needs to improve, but under his leadership, I'm more favorable on it than I would have been a year ago. So I would say put it on your watch list for sure. It's a $69. It's one of the cheaper stocks that we talk about. Revenue solid, $50 billion market cap. Enterprise value is $125 billion. Only thing they need to improve on is the operating margin a little bit, and they'll be fine. But I like this solely because of him. He's kind of like Andy Reid-ish, not as great as Andy, but he is great at wherever he's been. He's had a positive impact because of his leadership skills. So yeah, I think probably in the next year and a half they should hit like 105 probably. If the economy remains the same, if interest rates stay the same or get cut, and if they keep pouring money into the economy, I think they should hit 105 in like a year and a half.
And they still have room for global expansion. right? When we think about the places that we've traveled just in the past 45 days, when we were in Ghana, we could use Uber. When we were in Davos, we use Uber. We went, if we're into anywhere you go, you're starting to see that imprint grow and grow. So yeah, I'm with you.
The profit, like him, for context, Uber finally being profitable, the profit margin a year ago was negative 28%. He was running net negative. So for him to turn that around, and that kind of logistics business is tough. But kudos to him. He's on my leaderboard for turnaround CEO of this decade for sure.
Uber, once again, another product that I stand by.
You got what's your products list? You got that? What else?
Uber, Meta. Let me think about it. Apple, of course. That's obvious.
Yeah,
that's obvious.
We were nervous about it. We were right.
ChatGPT.
That's a
for sure. For sure. Yep. Artificial intelligence.
You should put out a products list.
I am.
Yep.
I am. Next Market Mondays.
product list loading.
Yes. The ones that I stand by.